Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Beth. Today we're doing a weekly plan with me. We are going to wrap up the month of June, use some of our last stickers from my June kit, and make June end. Am I ready for June to end? To be determined. I don't even know. I am going to go back to using some of my header stickers. It's been a while since I used weekly header stickers. I haven't used them at all this month. Most of May, there we go. Part of May I did. I'm going to stick these in. I don't like to use them every single week because then this area bulks up and is hard to write over top of and all of those sorts of things if the stickers are in the same place week after week after week after week. I did not do a weekly ritual this week. I felt like it was redundant because I did do my mid-year ritual. And it just seemed like a lot of the same things on top of one another. So I didn't do that this week. But I did spend a lot of time doing my mid-year ritual. My schedule didn't pan out the way that I had intended. I was going to take all day Thursday and do part 1 of my mid-year ritual around the summer solstice, and I did do that. Then I was going to do part 2 on the full moon on Friday, and I did part of it, but I didn't get it all done. I've had to work on it as I've had time, and that's fine. We still have a week before July. While I've done my ritual, I have not yet come in here and populated the spread that I set up for monitoring my goals for the back half of the year. I still haven't taken what I learned from my ritual and applied it to that part of my life and the spread that I set up for that. You'll see when we flip back to the daily pages, we've got a little bit of a blank spot there, but I have time because we still have a week left of the month. So tell me, what did y'all do last week? We had explored on Father's Day the week before this bookstore that's about an hour north of me. I cannot get that straight. Called Books by the Pound. I'll talk about it more in my reading wrap up for the month because I did buy some books there. And then this past Saturday, a friend of mine got curious enough that she wanted to go check it out. And so we hopped in the car and I went back to Books by the Pound yesterday to check it out. It's definitely one of those places that you could spend an entire day because it is a used bookstore and there is loose organization, as in there's bins of paperbacks that say fiction or nonfiction or history or mystery, but nothing's alphabetized. You really have to go in knowing that you might be there for a really, really long time because you can't necessarily go in looking for anything specific. On this second trip in, I just thought to myself, okay, if there are any books that I really, really love and I have it in paperback, well, if I can find the hardback, because a hardback book, again, he charges, I think it's like $1.75 per pound. Or $35 for a whole box of books, something like that. And I thought, well, if I find a hardback that I can upgrade one of my books from a paperback to a hardback for $1, maybe $2 if it's a really heavy book, then that's what I'll do. On this second trip, I did buy one book, and that book was Atonement by Ian McEwan. I just upgraded it. I have it in paperback, and I thought, we'll just get a nicer hardback copy. That's what I did. Then we checked out some other things in that city because we were there. Stopped at a place where we could pick up some dumplings and bring home for dinner. That's what I did Saturday. Completely spur of the moment. I had dinner with the same friend on Wednesday and I was telling her about the bookstore and she was like, well, I'm home Saturday, you want to go? And that's how my weekends tend to pan out, like that. It typically is not something planned. All right, I've put a bunch of circles around and some of those are meetings that I have during the week, and some of those are just intentions, things that I want to do or plan for. That's our moon phase on Friday. I am back in the office for a full week. I'm not taking any time off this week for anything. I have office days. I have remote days. My remote days are typically Tuesday and Friday. We're allowed to take 2 in my division where I work. We can't take Monday and Friday, and you can't take 2 side by side. So I take Tuesday because I end up with a lot of events that happen on Wednesdays or Thursdays. And then I take Friday because nobody ever wants to do anything on Friday in regards to events. I've been thinking about changing that to Monday and Thursday, even though I would have to come in sometimes on Thursday, which is fine because most of the bullet journal events are now taking place on Mondays and they're at a lunchtime, but I would have to then take them in my office, or I would have to take an iPad and I would have to go outside during a lunch break and watch those bullet journal events. Or I'm just going to have to catch them all on replay. I'm pondering that around in my head. My boss is not going to care one way or the other. All right. So I'm in office Monday, I am remote Tuesday, again in office on Wednesday and on Thursday, and I am remote on Friday. What being out of the house for the solstice showed me is that it's really good for my mental health. And I know that, but I had gotten into the routine of leaving work, coming home, immediately eating dinner at 5:30 or 6 because I've been meal prepping on weekends, so I just have to heat something up, or sometimes my meal prep are things that I can just pull out of the fridge and eat cold. Then I'm left with hours after that. If this is, say, 5:30, I come home, I eat, then I typically default to the television. So I want to get myself out of the house more, and the easiest way to do that is to already not have the friction in the way. If I'm in my car leaving work, go somewhere else before coming home. That's the thought process there, is that just take the friction away and go ahead and go somewhere else. So we're going to do a little bit of that this week. We're also going to do a little bit of that on at least one remote day. While I have this blue in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and draw a blue line down here where I will eventually put the weather. Okay, so what do we have on here? So Monday, talked about this last week, even though I had therapy in the middle of it. I have started blocking off my calendar for no meeting Monday morning, so NMMM. And then Monday after work, I do need to stop by Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's and Barnes & Noble are right next to one another. So I thought I would take my iPad and some other things. I would leave work, spend some time at Barnes & Noble, and then pop over to Trader Joe's before I come home. It's just one of those things I want to do. Abbreviated Trader Joe's. Then on Tuesday, I'm still doing MVP committee training for a new committee. This will be my last person that I need to train. I tried to get them all into one session and it just didn't work. So I have a little thing there. Last week, I had put our corporate town hall on my calendar. And then the day got there and I found out that they had moved it by a week. So that's on here again. Then I have another very specific meeting at 2:30, has to do with fundraising and giving. On Wednesday, one of the things that our organization does is host from time to time some employee wellness retreats or mini conferences. And I'm going to one of those on Wednesday morning. I would typically have a couple of other things that happen around 9 o'clock that other people are going to fill in for me and do. And then I thought, again, I'm in the car coming from work. Let's just go ahead and go to the Barnes & Noble cafe, hang out, read a book, work on a project, just be not in my house. I'm exploring some other places that I might want to go. One of my favorite places closes at 5. A lot of our local coffee shops close at 5, which is understandable. We'll see how that pans out as I explore places that I would want to go and sit and hang out. All right, and then I have a division meeting for all of my division on Thursday. I don't have any meetings on Friday, and since I don't have any meetings on Friday, I want to go to a coffee shop in the morning and just work from there instead of working from my house. This is going to go on 2 lines, even though it's one word. We have a coffee shop called Neverwhere. It was named after the Neil Gaiman book, and Neverwhere's in my top 5 books of all time, and I've gotten attached to this coffee shop where he has a great local coffee shop, and he's also selling comic books, and a lot of nerd things are going on in there. That's where I spent part of my day when I was not in the sunshine on the summer solstice and I was sitting and doing my reflection workbook. That's where I was. I went to Neverwhere. Then on the weekend, I want to put in space for my weekly ritual and then to film this plan with me. Will they happen exactly at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock kind of situation? Probably not, but that's where we're going to stick it just in case. Saturday, I'm leaving open. I've reached out to my cousin to see if she's available for the day and if we want to hang out and do something. Have no idea what that will be. And then, like I said, I've been meal prepping and it has been spur of the moment. I know I need to meal prep every week, and yet it sneaks up on me. And I suddenly realize that I don't have anything left in the refrigerator to just pop in the microwave or that I can eat. So we're going to do a meal prep plan, maybe put in an ordering list. We'll see if I actually order it and then would have my delivery. That's what this box is for. On Sunday, meal prep would happen somewhere in here, down here. On Fridays, I'm working from home. I tend to do things like laundry so that when I get to the weekend, I can not have to do laundry or clean sheets or any of that sort of thing. Because I do have that work from home day on Friday. While I am working, then I just pop up and down and do my laundry during break times and that sort of thing. So that is what my week is looking like. And the weather is hot. I have written hot across the top of every single one of these lines. I'm going to turn this, bump our markers a little bit. Morning storms on Tuesday. We're going to have scattered storms on Sunday. These are what we call heat storms. They just pop up and essentially make everything miserable. I realize the heat's got a break, and that's what the storm is doing. But here, it's so hot that everything then just evaporates and contributes to our already increasing humidity and start the cycle all over again. I think the actual temperature right now, Sunday afternoon, is like 99. Because of our heat index, it feels like 111, the weather app says. And that's the situation we're going to be in all week. Monday, high 98, low of 76. Tuesday, high 98, low of 76. And I put in that little we might have morning storms situation. It's going to come down a little bit on Wednesday, supposedly. 92 and 73. 95 and 71, and then again 99, 77, 97, 67. And that low in Fahrenheit, like 77 degrees or 67, that's the lowest it's going to get overnight with the sun down. Like, it's still not going to get super low. But it's another one of those weeks that I felt like I could just copy and paste the weather all the way across. And then looking into the first week of July, which we'll have a holiday here in the US because it's our Independence Day from the British. We're going to get into the hundreds, and then our heat index will be even more than that. We'll see. All right, I'm going to draw a sun because it's hot. I think I'm going to draw the sun in blue. I'm going to put a quote down here like I've been doing for a little bit now. This one's from William Carlos Williams, and it's, "In summer, the song sings itself." All of my quotes have been summer and sun related. Definitely feeling those vibes. It's a little weird since I've already done my July plan with me, which is burnt oranges and those deep heat colors to come back into this blue. It's all good. Since I'm in all of the summertime vibes, if there's a book quote or a song lyric that you love that is about the summer, the sunshine, heat, let me know in the comments below because I'll use them in my daily pages. I've been sticking in a daily quote every day, and most of them have to do with summer and the sunshine. I could use those quotes on any day in July. I could use those quotes on any day in August. We don't even start thinking about it being autumn around here or even feeling like autumn until mid-October. It stays hot that long. We'll have the equinox, but the weather doesn't necessarily cooperate. Alright, there we go. In summer, the song sings itself. And I'm going to write that is from William Carlos Williams because I'll forget. I think I'm going to put in some dots for the meal prep situation. I tend to prep one breakfast thing to get me through the course of the week. Last week, it was cottage cheese breakfast bowls, like with nuts and cinnamon and blueberries. Again, feeling the summer vibes. And then I will prep 2 or 3 other meals that I can then intersperse through the course of the week. I won't eat all the same thing for lunch, and I won't eat all the same thing for dinner. I've got to be able to change it up. So while I might eat the same thing for lunch on Wednesday and dinner on Friday, then dinner on Wednesday and lunch on Thursday are the same thing, so that I don't get completely bored. Because I can eat leftovers and whatnot, but if I have to eat the exact same meal for lunch every day and the exact same meal for dinner every day, it's not going to fly. I will let it sit in the fridge and I will pinch hit something else, whether it's takeout or whatnot. Like, it just has no appeal to me. So I have to have a third meal in there so that I can interweave that meal prepping. And then this will just be my list of things that I need to order on my grocery order, because I don't like to go to the store. If you've been here a minute, you know that I am not a fan of taking myself inside of a store. Although, and I know I've been on a little bit of a no-buy as much as possible the last couple months. I did much better in May than I have in June. Like I said, I've been to the books by the pound. I've bought books. I'm really thinking about investing in some plants and pots and really trying to make a pot garden out on my back patio balcony situation. Just haven't decided if I want to spend the money to do it. Most of the time when I have purchased plants, I've bought them at the end of the season. I'm not buying them until September, and they're discounted heavily. I'm really craving having some greenery out there. We'll see. But then I have to decide, am I gonna plant things that are like evergreens and stuff that will survive the winter? We will get enough of a cold snap that I have to be careful of what's out there. I don't know if I have the wherewithal to be one of those people that's constantly bringing plants in and out during the winter months, or finding a place for them inside during the winter months where I'm most likely going to kill them. Looking at this now, I'm going to bring in just this light gray calligraph and draw a line on my work days. I feel like I just need a little bit of a delineation between these items that are definitely work related and like these items that are not, that are personal time related. We will do that, and again up here under this time period. Yeah, that helps my eyes. In these gaps, I've started writing event related things, like when my son had his birthday, or last week when it was Juneteenth. I don't have anything there to stick in there this week. If I have a dinner date or something that pops up, that's probably where I'll stick it as well. Okay, let's do our week 26, because that is the week we are on. I have already set up for July. I've left myself some pages to get through this week. I've set up list 26 so we can put that in here, and then this is where I'm going to come in and put the results of my mid-year ritual, which I'll do later this afternoon probably, or maybe during one of those afternoons that I'm spending at Barnes & Noble doing some reflection, and get that put in here, but I've left myself space for it. List 26, here is our 52 lists project. Oh, I guess we should look at list 25, which was list the things that make you feel powerful, and I put motherhood, surviving bipolar, because, you know, it's a situation. Successful events, if you don't know, by trade, I'm an event manager. My strength, my resilience, feminine energy. I don't know. We'll see. It's actually kind of a difficult one for me. I liked it, but it was a difficult one for me. All right, so list 26, the 52 lists project. All right, there's list 25. List 26 is list the things you would change in your life right now if you could. Oh boy, that's a very loaded question. The action step says, give yourself a goal this week of creating change in one small way, from changing up your bedding to reorganizing your clothing. So list the things you would change in your life right now if you could. Ooh. I don't know. I mean, I can look back at my ritual and probably pull out some things. So list the things you would change in your life right now. Right now, if you would. I don't know. What about you? Is there anything that you would change in your life right now if you could? It's a difficult one because I think we all have something. Even if you are the most contented person, I think there's always something that maybe we want to change and don't feel like we can. Or there's something that we can change, like the prompt said, like reorganizing a closet. That's not earth-shattering, but it's something that you could do for your future self. Okay, I will start my daily logging here again. If you have any summer sun hot related quotes that you want to see pop up in my dailies, drop it down in the comments so that I can use those. They typically need to be short ones though. I don't write really long quotes in my dailies, but I have started putting in a motivational quote every single day. So that is it. We are almost done with June. We're going to wrap it up this week. Next week will be my first July Plan With Me. Just a reminder, if you haven't caught on already, that the Plan With Me's have moved to Monday. I am posting them on my Patreon Sunday night, so if you're interested in getting a peek at it on Sunday, Patreon is the place to go. If you like this video, you know what to do. Give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one when it's July.